episode 2. Your boy Jonny Rude, my man Donny Smokes here with me. We got a real trooper here today because Mr. Smokes came down with a little sickness. You want to go over that real quick, bud?
Yeah, I ended up getting the flu, and it fucking sucks. Get your flu shots. Don't get the flu. It's fucking terrible. I ended up waking up Tuesday, feeling like crap. Went to work, was alright. Came home during the day. It felt like my eyeballs were burning in my fucking head, and I had a 103-degree fever. And yeah, so that's why I sound like shit, and here we are.
Brutal. But he was a trooper last night for Grand Slam. He stayed up through the whole thing with me. We watched the show together.
Yes, sir.
Great fucking show. Great show. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
No, it was from top to bottom, like we said in the other night. Every match was gonna be a banger. They were gonna slap. It was gonna be brutal. And for the most part, it was. I'd say two of the matches were the most brutal, and we'll dive into that a little bit for sure once we get to those matches.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. We got a bunch of notes here as to what transpired on the night. A lot of our picks were wrong from episode 1. We did not do very good. We had a lot of the
I
same
know.
picks and a lot of the same wrong picks. They pulled a lot of fastballs on us last night, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, great show. We'll open it up with the first match, which did happen to be Jericho and Claudio.
Yeah.
Absolutely surprising finish to that one. Wasn't expecting it, but hey, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, Jericho is that guy that, if they're planning on making a big push with Ring of Honor, revamping the whole show, maybe getting a 1 or 2 hour TV night for the show, he's a great first champ to have. Just like he was the first champ in Dynamite, or AEW.
Yeah. So yeah, Jericho ended up beating Claudio for the ROH World Championship. I know both our picks was Claudio to beat Jericho because we thought he was that guy. I mean, in our opinion, he's that guy to keep elevating a title. I know I said he was down the line going to be that next future GOAT, which I still stand beside that statement. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little disappointed that Claudio lost the title. I really wanted to see him keep that reign and keep going back and forth with Ring of Honor and AEW and bringing that title, but you can't go wrong with either of them to hold that title and to elevate Ring of Honor in that sense. Jericho is Jericho. What are
Yep.
you gonna do? I was very surprised to see Danny Garcia come out and kind of reluctantly high five Jericho. He was there. He didn't seem like he really wanted to be there. I think he's still torn as to which faction he wants to truly be with. But he kind of gave a little, to Jericho as like a congratulations. I think Jericho might elaborate more on that. We'll see. I think because Jericho plays mind games like that. He's
Yeah.
he's he's controlling. That's his thing. So I would. There's definitely more on that to come. Obviously, it's just speculation for me, but yeah, I was very surprised to see that for sure.
Yeah, the plot thickens with the whole Danny Garcia lore. But
Yeah,
yeah, nonetheless, it's a great story, and we're going to
and
continue to follow it.
and the meat and potatoes of that match with the you know suplex from the ring apron down to the floor, and Claudio with his massive European uppercuts, and I think we saw 18 swings last night
17,
that
18,
Jericho,
something.
yeah, something like that. It was we got the we counted. It was somewhere 17 or 18 swings. It was. I know. I think I shot for the low to mid 20s, which we didn't see. I would
I
love to
was
see.
way under at 9.
I
Not
would
even
I
close.
would have loved to see him spin Jericho 30 times. That would have been great. But yeah, it, we got it all. It was a 10 out of 10 match in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that was a great match, and we'll just run through the finish real quick to how Jericho became the new ROH World Champion. Well, he tried using the bat on Claudio, but Claudio, like a fucking superhero, caught it like mid swing, and it was like, no, no, no. And it progressed a little back and forth, and then there was a low blow the ref did not see, which led into the Judas effect and the 1, 2, 3, and Jericho came out on top. So congratulations to him getting the Ocho, as he calls it.
Yeah. All right. So now we're on to, I don't remember where this match was in the lineup last night, but we're going to move on to the All Atlantic Championship versus with Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Um, this one we got right. Pac ended up pinning Orange Cassidy, and this is one of the brutal matches of the night. It was an all-out just slaughter between the two of them. You know, Pac dominated most of the match, beat the ever loving shit out of Orange Cassidy. Uh, Orange went for a couple orange punches, couple times, and it really was a great match. It was brutal, like you would expect. There was a lot of near falls. And your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, like you said, absolutely brutal match. At one point, I was actually like genuinely concerned for Cassidy when they were outside the ring, and it looked like his head clipped that ring post, went flying into the ring post. I saw his head like literally bounce forward after hitting it. I was like, oh shit, this dude might be concussed. But crazy match, brutalizers, reversals, madness. Cassidy, he did a few of the pockets things, sunglass things, but you could tell he was in the zone. He was taken a little more seriously than he usually does uh, on the night. But just like the first match again, shenanigans. For some reason, who left a motherfucking hammer on the title table? Who
It
the
was.
fuck left a hammer there and left it for Pac to grab and smash Cassidy in the face with?
Hey, listen, like I said last night when it happened. Ref don't see it, it didn't happen, man. You gotta listen. Pac is the type of guy that is gonna, when he saw his championship belt slipping away. I firmly believe that if he did not do that, he was gonna lose the belt. Right? But he retained because he went to any means necessary. He's the bastard Pack. It's in his
Right.
name. He's a bastard. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna do bastard shit, and he's gonna keep his title any way he seems necessary. There's a rematch coming down the road. For sure there is. There's got to be, especially with a win like that. Orange Cassidy is going to demand a rematch. And he might get it next time. It might be a no disqualification match where they can just go ham, no holds barred, and just have at each other. But yeah, I mean, it's the hammer for the ring bell, man. It's just kind of there, I guess. But
Yeah, it seemed to stray a little. I didn't see the ring bell on that desk anymore. I don't know if he's got some. He paid someone to slide that hammer a little closer to the
uh,
ring. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might be
I
overthinking it.
At first I thought he was going for one of the title belts. I
Yeah,
thought he
same.
was, the good old smash in the head with the title belt, but got that hammer all nice, got in there. That was it, man.
That was
Bryce,
it.
Bryce, the referee, didn't see it. Had to count the 1, 2, 3, man. So congrats to Pac for retaining his All Atlantic Championship title. Doesn't matter how he did it. A lot of people are going to be very controversial about it, but congrats to Pac, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Congrats to him on the retention. Um, Leading into, I believe, was the
Mm.
second match on the night, but a failed retention. The Swerve and Our Glory versus the Acclaimed.
Yes.
Acclaimed came out to a massive pop, and like we pointed out last night, which was a little odd, they came out after the champions. Usually, the champions will come out after the challengers, but no, it was reversed. Um, Acclaim comes out, huge pop. Daddy Ass is with them, stays at ringside the entire match. Um, and we saw a lot of heel tendencies from Swerve. Like for example, like Keith Lee was all smiles, having a good time in the ring. You could see that clearly throughout the match. Swerve had a more angry, focused demeanor. Claimed win for a scissor in the middle of the ring, and Swerve hopped in and broke that shit up. He was like, "Nope, nope, scissoring in here." He was just had a pissed, mean mug. I think I see a heel turn on the horizon, and which I think would be great because these two were originally singles competitors, and I could see Lee, going after the world title in maybe a couple months, but and Swerve maybe TNT title. But they've been
Mm.
great as a team. They clicked well. I don't think the plan was for them to be a team going into AEW when they got signed, but Tony Khan saw it just worked, and they definitely helped elevate those tag team titles. And they put over the Acclaimed massively last night.
Absolutely. And once again, we ended up seeing some fun type shenanigans at the end of the match. We'll get into that in a minute when we talk about the match ending. But yeah, I mean, huge pop for both teams, even bigger for the Acclaimed. I mean, I gotta say it, scissor me daddy ass. It's one of my favorite things right now. Um, just because it's so much fun. But yeah, I mean, there was a point in time in the match that we thought Caster was done. Caster went for the mic drop. I don't, halfway through the match, I don't know if he slipped off the top rope or if he just kind of botched it a little bit and ended up coming down on his right knee really hard. It looked like he was seriously injured. And all of a sudden, there he is back in the ring, clotheslining and, back in the match. Maybe he was just playing a little bit of possum there. But yeah, it was man, it was an all out brawl between those two teams. And to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying about heel tendencies from Swerve, um, I've since he's been in AEW, I've never really seen him as a face. That's my opinion. I've always seen him to be kind of more on the heel side, and especially after All Out, if anybody watched the scrum after that, and they were talking about the titles and people coming after him and doing this, it just Swerve's like, yeah, man, if you guys want to keep coming, somebody's gonna get hurt. Like already right there, that's not a babyface thing to say. That's a heel
Mm-hmm.
thing to say. He's ready to hurt people to keep those titles, and the Acclaim knew that, and they had daddy asses back up, and that entire exchange at the end. I mean, it gelled well for the Acclaim, did not work out so well for Swerve and Our Glory. If you want to go into a little bit of that, I'm get a little
Yeah.
scratchy over here.
Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, so well, that was a beautiful famouser by Daddy Ass on the outside onto Swerve. That really sealed the deal for the Acclaimed. But before that, Swerve went to go hit Caster with the fucking boombox that he had,
Oh yeah,
and Caster goes and dodges that shit and hits Lee right in the face with the boombox. So that did not help their team synergy in the slightest. But
no,
moving on to the end, yeah, like I said, Famouser from Daddy Ass on the outside took Swerve out of commission, which set up both the Claim Boys in the ring to go ahead and hit the mic drop. Caster from the top rope, 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Once they got Swerve back in the ring, that is. But great match, huge pop. New York, the home city of the Acclaimed. But that was amazing ending, amazing outcome. They had the confetti, pink confetti all over the fucking place. And these guys deserve it. Homegrown AEW talent, and Swerve and Glory put them over big time.
Yeah, absolutely. What an amazing match.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now we're gonna get into another big match of the night, and but the ending of this match was definitely, or what happened after the end of this match, I should say, was something definitely unexpected for a lot of people, which was the AEW Interim Women's Championship match. Four-way match between Tony Storm, who is the champion, Britt Baker, Athena, and Serena Deeb. So it right off the bat, obviously you had Deeb and Baker trying to, start some shit and team up. The two people I can't stand the most. And back and forth the whole match between being teams, not being teams. Tony Storm defending against three other people. Um, Athena didn't have her wings. I was surprised she had some
yeah.
cubone
Boom.
looking thing.
Yeah. Pokemon. Got a Pokemon fan in Athena, but yeah, the skull was cool. I mean, didn't you just get new wings, like those mechanical ones? Like she got
Yeah,
them
because
after the other ones got destroyed.
Britt Baker destroyed the other ones. Then she had some new mechanical wings that went up and down with Christmas lights on it. It looks like, and then I mean, but the white cubone that reflects the light was really cool. Um, but yeah, I think a really cool part in that match was you had, I think it was Serena Deeb had the single leg crab locked in on Athena, and Tony Storm with a single leg locked in on Britt Baker. And they were just single leg yelling at each other, slapping each other. That was a fun part, and obviously you could see the heel on the face and the face on the heel. It was, you know, it was a really cool thing to see.
Nice
Um,
visual. Hmm.
yeah, and what was it? Britt Baker had some real blood last night too, coming out of her nose.
Got her nose broke again. It's the
Yeah.
first time by Sheeta like a few years ago, and now who did that? Athena, I think.
So Athena
Athena's
did it because Athena had Britt Baker over her shoulders, and Serena Deeb went to do a running cross body and caught her. And when she did the over the head slam to do the back body drop in the overhead, she landed right on Britt Baker's face. And I was immediately went, ugh,
yeah.
that's gotta hurt a little bit.
Looks a
So,
little painful for sure. Um, but
yeah,
Tony pinned Baker to retain clean in the middle of the ring. One, two,
yep,
three, and then the beatdown commenced. Tony, Athena came to try and help out Tony, but Deeb and Bray were beating him up. Then Hayter comes out, and we're thinking, oh, is Hayter finally going to turn on Baker, or is she going to still align with her and forgive her for the bullshit she caused at the last pay per view? But nope, Hayter's still on Team Baker as of right now. Helps the beat down on Tony and Athena, and then we get a debut. You want to touch on that?
yeah. So one of my favorites in any women's division, we had Soraya, also known as Paige from WWE. We heard the zombified by falling in reverse kick on last night, and Soraya comes out and we were like, no fucking way. So that's great to see her back and some kind of I'm hoping she gets some in kind of ring action. I hope her neck's all healed up. I hope we get to see Soraya in the ring and do what she's best at. Just play her mind games, get the crowd to scream for her, and and be the Soraya we all know and love.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw maybe a year or more ago on Twitter. We had a back and forth between Soraya and Britt Baker. That's I think Britt said in an interview a long time ago that her one dream opponent would be Soraya. So that looks like that's coming to fruition here in AEW, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be one hell of a fucking match for sure.
Absolutely, and I think she's the one who really started it all in the women's revolution in WWE. I mean, this could be what AEW truly needs to light a fire under the division and really bring it to the heights because they have the talent. We just need a little bit of a push, and I feel like Soraya can truly do that for this company. So
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I mean, look at what she did in WWE when the Divas title was still around and stuff like that, and the way she came in and pushed and was different than everybody else, and that's what the professional wrestling side needs now. And with her, I think we're still gonna get some of that entertainment aspect because that's who she is, and I don't think that should change at all. But yeah, it definitely going to get a lot more of the you know Soraya from the family run wrestling business. I think we're going to see a lot more of that, which is going to be really awesome.
yeah, definitely. And then we had our main event. And again, just like the tag team title match, the champion came out first. John Moxley comes out to Wild Thing through the crowd first. Huge pop for both these gentlemen. And yeah, this was an absolute shocker. Such a good match. I mean, wasn't a shocker ending. I mean, it could have gone 50-50, but it's not what we thought, not what we envisioned. Neither of us.
No, we both envisioned Danielson winning this title, and now we had talked, about this, like hey, if Danielson wins, you got MJF with that chip. Would they really strip the title from Danielson to give to MJF and have MJF lose and waste a chip or waste a title reign for Danielson like that? Or like what could happen? But we really didn't think Moxley was going to win again so soon, which it's great that he did, because there's just been so much going on in AEW that they're trying to make the best of it, because unfortunately, right, we had to do this whole big tournament again for this AEW championship, and it's not interim this time. It's they are the actual champion, and had to go through this whole thing, and Moxley wins again. Now we're going to see a Moxley and MJF feud again. So I'm hoping they give him a nice little long title reign. I can see in the future, after this title reign, MJF winning the title, having a decent reign, and then giving Danielson a really good match, uh, for Danielson to have this title. I think that's the way it's going to end up playing out. Might be too soon to predict that, but that's kind of where my mind's going, already. But some great, almost every moment of this match was a high spot.
Yeah, was a lot of brutality. I think Taz at one point said that Moxley's chest looked like uncooked roast beef or something, raw roast beef. I think he
That's
said.
yes. That's yeah, I think that's pretty close to exactly what he said.
Yeah, I tweeted it. It's on the Twitter if you guys want to follow us at Jobber Bros. Cheap plug there. But anyways, so just briefly touching on the match, Danielson was pretty dominant for about 3/4 of the match. Was insane. Chops, yes kicks, submission holds, bunch of craziness. The one part that looked like, I think I tweeted and called it, like, looked like death yoga. It was like they both had them in
Oh
and they were
yeah.
like on their heads, like couldn't both submitting each other. It
Yeah,
was
friggin' and then they were slapping each other
Yep. I
while they
was
were
like, what is this sick
doing a
death yoga
headstand.
shit?
Yeah, legs locked together. Friggin'
Yep.
upside down rams locking horns.
Yeah,
You know?
seriously. And
Insane. And only them two can pull that shit off, and it'd be like, okay. Anybody else does, you're kind of like, why? Why is that happening?
pretty much. But anyways, eventually Mox was able to pretty much lay all his weight on top of Danielson, had him in a submission, and essentially choked him out. The ref held up Danielson's arm, hand dropped to the floor, and that was it. Called the submission. Jon Moxley, your 3-time AEW champion.
See, this is where I have a question. I remember, so now it's they pick up the arm, they drop it one time, it's done. Whatever happened to this? What happened to the 3-time rule? That gave excitement because it gave you were up 1, 2, and then by the 3rd time that arm stopped, and they got you back up, and they got you riling back up again to see if anything would happen. Like, what happened to that? I thoroughly enjoyed that. You gotta give the guy a chance a little bit. Maybe he would have had it. Maybe he
He's gonna
was
come
just
back to
out.
life.
Yeah, maybe he was just out cold. Because after that, you did see Danielson roll up and be like, "What happened?
That's
You got
true.
choked. You got choked out, bitch. That's what happened."
Yeah.
Moxley got in there. He had that rear chokehold. Man, just flexed on that. Flexed on the esophagus. Cut all oxygen off. He was done. But
Yep.
yeah, congrats to Mox. Congrats to all the champions, and all the all the challengers. Everybody put on a great show and I mean this is a regular Dynamite aired on Wednesday night, live on television. It's not a pay-per-view, and to put on a kind of show like that, got to give it up to Tony Khan and AEW for some shit like that. This is the best professional wrestling we have seen in a very long time.
Yeah, and I read somewhere that it was AEW's Dynamite's first $1 million gate. So big congrats to them.
Yeah,
Huge show in Queens last night, and we got another heater coming on Friday, which we're gonna have a separate episode to go over our picks and predictions and just preview for Grand Slam Rampage coming this Friday night, which is actually tomorrow from the time we're filming this. But yeah, we can't wait for that one. Overall, night one of Grand Slam did not disappoint in the slightest. A lot of action, a lot of craziness, title changes, and a lot of setups for stories to come down the pipeline.
yeah,
So yeah, that's all I got for this show for today. Any last words for you?
yeah. Just make sure you like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jobber Bros, man, where we post stuff. We'll eventually be getting some clips of the podcast up on TikTok. That way, for those who scroll through and you know tell your friends and family about it. You enjoy wrestling. We enjoy wrestling. We like to talk shit here on the Jobber Bros podcast, which I think we're pretty good at.
Hell yeah, just keeping it real, no fluff, no regurgitating same bullshit that some of these other sources, push out every hour on the hour. Just raw,
Yeah,
unfiltered. It's like we're just hanging out in the same room. Bros,
yeah,
bros talking to bros about wrestling. And that's what
that's
Java
it.
Bros is all about, baby.
That's it.
So once again, thank you everybody for listening and watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.